see if I can say this without you misunderstanding me. You're wrong. That's Texan for you're mistaken. Because it should be expected of you as a disciple of Jesus that you're thankful. That should be expected. Do you know that ingratitude is the beginning of a hard heart? Turn your Bibles into Romans chapter 1. You ever wonder what happened to people? Why did they leave? What's going on? Why is that person struggling so much? And why are these people having so many problems? Why is it that these people, their relationships are always messed up? What's going on? I'm almost 100% convinced that ingratitude plays a big role in why things get messed up. Paul said in Romans chapter 1, beginning in verse 21, it says, "For although they knew God, they neither glorified him as God, nor gave thanks to him. But their thinking became futile, and their foolish hearts were darkened. Although they claimed to be wise, they became fools." You know, sometimes from the outside, we're experts. You know, we're experts. You know, beginning of the year, the Chargers, all of us experts were sitting there going, I think LT's done. You know, he doesn't have it anymore. It's over. They can't even sell out the stadium. And why do they always run that same play? They know an end around is what they ought to do. Have you ever sat there in front of the television and knew exactly what they should do because you're the expert? I actually have a confession to make. My wife told me not to use this illustration, but you blame me for this. A few months ago, I couldn't say, I don't know if I can say it now, paso doble. And I thought that salsa had to include chips. But now that I've watched Dancing with the Stars, I've become an expert. And I can sit there and I can watch and I go, well, obviously, look at their hands weren't right. They missed that step. I don't know about that. Isn't it amazing how I know nothing about it, but I can be an expert? I find that also to be true with disciples and other people's lives. That all of a sudden, they're the expert. We have experts in this church who know how this church ought to be run. They're experts. They go home every Sunday and they say, why did we do it that way? Well, we ought to be doing this. We should be doing that. We you know, Robert. Jesus had problems with experts too. Experts are never satisfied. Experts always want something else. They always expect something more. And no matter what you did, it wasn't good enough. No matter what's happening, no matter what God is doing in the mission church, there are some experts who don't think it's good enough. That we're right on the brink of total anarchy and breaking apart. It's going to be raining cats and dogs and the end of the world. 2012 is here. In Luke chapter 7. Luke chapter 7 and verse 30 it says, because see, the point is about having gratitude. The point is about having gratitude. And if you are never satisfied, then you'll never be grateful. And the Bible tells me that ingratitude is the beginning of a hard heart. And you'll profess to be wise, but you'll miss it. Luke chapter 7, beginning in verse 30, says, "But the Pharisees and experts in the law rejected God's purpose for themselves because they had not been baptized by John." To what then can I compare the people of this generation? What are they like? They're like the children sitting in the marketplace and calling out to each other, "We played the flute for you and you did not dance. We sang a dirge and you did not cry." So what do you want? If it was too light, well, it's too light. But if it was too heavy, well, that's too heavy. What do you want? You're the expert. Well, we just need to do this. And I'm afraid that we end up missing what God is doing. Are you thankful for what God is doing? I'm thankful to be a part of this fellowship. I'm excited about what God is doing. You know, when we were over in the West region, I love the West. We have a great family, great connections. I mean, it was just good. And we could have stayed and been a happy little church. But we wrote a list. And in that list it says, what are things, if God was building a church, what would he be doing? And so we wrote down things that if God was doing something in this city, what would that be? And we wrote things like, there would be a great campus ministry. There would be a children's ministry. There would be a great married ministry. There would be a great singles ministry. There would be an opportunity for us to be able to serve and take care of the community around us. We wrote that list and we prayed about it. And we got back together and we looked at that list and said, God's already doing all that. He's doing that. There is a place that has a great campus ministry. There's a place that has a great teen ministry. There is a place that has a great marriage ministry, a great singles ministry, a great Latin ministry. There is a place that has a great opportunity to reach out and to serve the community through the Mission Center of Hope. So we packed up our bags and got over here as quick as we could. Because we didn't want to miss what God is doing. You know, almost a person a week has been baptized this year. The mission's growing. We have outreaches to the community where hundreds of people are taken care of and affected. Hundreds. And November 28th, there'll be a blanket drive and a winter clothes drive. And hundreds of people will be touched by the love and generosity of the Mission Center of Hope. There's so much for you and I to be thankful for. And so thanks